Eclipse season is here, June, July, August 2021, and this is the chance of a lifetime for you to truly change your life and create what it is that you want in life. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is so and how you can do it. So this is a very important concept for you to understand, and right now is the time to implement it, because eclipse season augments and amplifies everything that you do. So watch this video till the very end. You are divine. Beautiful children of the stars, I am back. I've been gone for a little while. I've been concentrating on my Starseed Origins Course. Week 3 we're in. It's amazing. Don't miss it when it opens again in July. Down there is the info in the description box. Okay, so, all right. Eclipse season. We just had the first full lunar eclipse, and the energies were amazing. And one thing that you have to understand about eclipse season, about this time where we have different eclipses going on, and I psychically received June, July, August. There are different eclipse seasons, but for me, this is what came through. I am not an astrologer, but I receive all this information from up there. You don't have to know astrology to understand energies and to download information about the cycles that we go through here on Earth, all right? So let's jump right into it. Eclipse season. The one thing that you have to know about every eclipse season is that these are portals. They're actually energetic portals of incoming, intense, transformational light codes, energies. The planets, the stars are helping us in our quest to create, in our quest to manifest something. So these portals are portals of intensification. The light codes that are coming in are transformational, are intense, are very, very high vibrational. And in eclipse season, all these months that are coming, starting June, starting now, you will have the opportunity to truly, finally transform your life, to really bring forth that, what it is that you want, to separate yourself from the chaos of the world, because if that's what it is that they want, okay, but you don't want it. And that's going to be the main concept of today's message that I have been getting for the last year, basically. But it's coming through really strongly now, and this is your chance to actually do it. So the concept is this. And you know, my concepts, the way I teach them, they sound very simple, and you might say, oh, I know that, but bear with me, because just knowing something and really taking it, going deep, implementing it in your life and creating change, those are two things. So please don't be a sofa watcher. Don't be like a lazy sofa philosopher who says, I understand this, I don't need it anymore. You know, those people who know everything and in the end don't learn anything and don't transform because they know everything already. So don't be one of those. Listen to this whole message and implement it. So this is basically what it is. This is what it is. We have Earth here like this, okay? And we have all the people. This is the collective of humanity. Collective humanity, right? So what we see out there in the news, people that we know in the big cities, in the centers of civilization, all these things that are happening in the human collective is basically one reality, right? This is a reality. And one thing you have to understand is that we do create our reality. We're not just little like bits floating around, floating into something that exists and we have to be there. No, we create our reality. We create the world how it is. We have created it collectively, right? So all the human beings, all the societies, this is supposed to be a house. I don't know why it's floating. It's on a mountain. A house, society, right? Religion, churches. This is a church. Institutions, the government, right? The collective of the people, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything together is the collective. And everything together as a collective, this whole human construct, human consciousness, everything creates the reality what we perceive outside of us individually, right? That's why we are that's why we are a collective. And you, let's say you are here. Let's say you are here, this person standing on the earth, and you are actually tethered in. You are tethered in a spider web into the matrix. And the matrix is the collective consciousness, what it is projecting upon us, the rules, the regulations, the ideas, the media, our whole belief system is basically the matrix. And we, because we are born in this world, we are plugged into this matrix, right? So this is one big matrix. I'm going to write this with another pen because the red pen is not working very well. So the reality is also the matrix. And we have been living in a 3D world, so that's why we call it the 3D matrix, is everything that we are in society, right? The rules, the laws, the countries, the systems, the governments, our job, our network of people, the village. This is the matrix that we perceive. And the 3D matrix on Earth has been not the best. And now it's coming out. So the 3D matrix of a place, of a planet, can slowly change by perceptions changing. And if there is negativity coming in, okay? Negativity. Let's say that the whole matrix is a beautiful, positive matrix. Nothing really negative, everything is working, people are happy. Let's say one person comes in from somewhere else, or even within the matrix, and starts to have negative thoughts and fears, right? And these start to multiply, and he tells the next person about this. So this is like, fears, they're demons, they're bad things, even if they don't exist yet. So these fears get multiplied in the matrix. And this is really truly how it happens. One person gets a little bit fearful, or gets a little bit negative, or goes off the path. The separation from God, Creator, Source starts happening because we as divine beings, and let's say we as a collective of humanity, we are connected to God, Creator, Source, right? We are divine. You don't have to be religious. This has nothing to do with a religion, but we as a collective are connected. We're multidimensional beings. We know this. We are in the 3D right now, but we are connected. Every single one of us, right, is connected up through all the dimensions, up to God, Creator, Source. 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D, 11D, 12D. So we are multidimensional beings, but because we're living in a 3D world, where the 3D matrix is running our life, we are often just disconnected from this. We're disconnected. We're just living here in this reality, in this matrix. And so whatever happens in here, because we are a collective, and because we live in the spider web, we live in the matrix, if one person experiences something, the others start to perceive it and experience it. So if it's good or if it's bad, this works. So if negativity starts spreading and spreading and spreading, then it exorbitates itself. And then the negativity, and this is where creatorship comes in, the negativity starts looking for matches. Remember my last video, if you haven't watched it, watch it. What you focus on, what you believe, what is within you expands and looks for its match in reality. That's why it's so important. It is so important to monitor what you believe and what you think. It's all a choice. So let's say a whole bunch of people are now thinking, oh my God, there are demons, there are demons. Oh no, oh no. Watch out, watch out. They start being scared. They start separating from each other. They start going into negative cycles, and this just exorbitates itself. And you know what happens then? You know what happens? Then negative things start manifesting, because our outside world, without exception, is a reflection and a manifestation of our inside world. So if you start believing in demons and spreading this stuff and believing in viruses, believing in cabal, believing in reptilians, believing, oh my God, then they're going to start to appear in your life, because you are such powerful creators. And imagine if the whole collective of a planet starts doing this, going downhill, 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 downhill. And this is a different perspective, right? We think we were here on Earth, you know, the innocent little Lyrans, and suddenly the Draconians came and ruined everything. But why did they come and ruin everything? You think it's just ad hoc that the most beautiful, positive creature who has done nothing wrong, who thinks nothing negative, can draw this upon themselves? No. In every single place, in every single planet that was ever infiltrated by the negatives, it is the people. It is the beings, it is the people, it is the humans, the Lyrans, the Hadarans, whoever it is, who allowed this, who drew this in. And it can just start with one person who's in a position of power, or even not, because we are connected. Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you understand what I'm getting at? So, and hang on, this is a thread of thought. We're going to get to this here. We're going to get to how it's affecting us today. So, basically what happened on Earth is that the negativity started at some point far back. And when you start to believe these things, when you start to believe in negative things, when you start taking negative action, when you start being mean, when you start going against your soul, when you start not living divinely, when you sever your connection to God, Creator, Source a little bit, when you let other things in, when you stop being creative, when you stop being pure, when you stop saying, this is me, I'm an empowered soul, this, that's just a fable, that's rubbish. When you stop doing that, you start letting it in. You start opening yourself and allowing those reptiles, those negatives, those cabals, those governments, those millionaires with the jabs, those hidden labs creating pestilences for the world. You start allowing them to become bigger and more real and coming in. Right? It's the same idea of you're in a house, there's a vampire outside, and you're just like, rubbish. Or you're like, and then you open the door, and then he comes in and bites you. That's the same thing. You allow it. We as a collective have allowed all the evil to come in. That's just how it is. Right? And it's established itself in the 3D matrix. So the 3D matrix is riddled. We know this. It's riddled with negative beings, negative soul groups, pestilence, war, disaster. And this is a reality of the collective. Okay, it is. I'm not saying it's not real. It is a reality, but it's because we have created it collectively. We started very small. It's like gaining weight. Do you wake up the next morning with 200 pounds bigger? No, it's creeping. It starts one day, maybe 5 years ago. It started where you had a bit of a traumatic experience and you said, and you just went mindlessly into a shop and you ate 2 liters of ice cream and you felt a little bit good after that. And then you already gained half a pound, right? Then you said, what was this? No. And then 2 days later, you do the same thing. And so creepingly, you get into a habit, the weight starts being put on, and suddenly you wake up and, what happened? So this is just a little metaphor. So this here is a little bit similar. It starts small, and look where we are at now. Look at where we're at now in this world, in the negative 3D matrix. Right? So the question is, what has this got to do with it? This portal. The portal of the eclipse season is a portal, and God is with us. The divine is with us. The angels are with us. I'm not religious, guys, but I mean, come on. God, Creator, Source. Don't be afraid to use the word. God, angels, devils. It's all real. It's all real. if you want it to be. Okay, so they are there to help us. We're not alone. The universe is big and vast with many beautiful opportunities and beings. And the eclipse season is the stars and the planets that are basically helping us. That's how I see it. They are helping us. We are one consciousness. Just how we are a consciousness, the planet, our Earth Mother, Gaia, is a consciousness. The stars are consciousnesses. As above, so below. The universe is alive, my friends. It's alive. And the moon and the stars, all up there, all those highly vibrational beingnesses, consciousnesses, they see what's going on. They see billions of people stuck in the 3D matrix and suffering and having a hard time. And built in to reality in the cycles of planets and the cycles of life are always cycles of opportunity, of opening, of growth, and of closing, right? Everything in life expands and contracts, expands and contracts. And eclipse season is a time of expansion. It's a time where the portals are opening, letting in light codes for us to be able to expand and empower ourselves. Everything is amplified. So this is important to understand, that everything that you believe, everything you let into your reality, everything you strive for, every single little thought, everything you do will be amplified. So why not do this? Why not say, heck, rubbish to all of this. I don't want this anymore. This is crap. This is crap. This negativity is crap. The draconians, the cabal, all that stuff, all the viruses. It is all a negatively created construct that brought it into reality of most people. But if this is so, why don't I extract myself and create my own reality? So now is the time to extract yourself from the crappy reality and start to create your own. This is you. So why don't you start to create your own world? Your own world, with the very basic premise that you create your reality, what you focus on, what you believe in, what you choose to think, do every single day creates what will actually be in your life physically. Why don't you take that, the creatorship, and say, okay, I am not going to play with this anymore. I'm not going to play in this anymore. I don't like it. I don't like it. There are pockets of very positive reality, obviously. Every single person is different, but when you look at it collectively, you look at the state of the world and it's crap. It's not good. It's pretty negative, right? So why don't you say, okay, I'm going to take my creatorshipness, right? A new word was just created. See, I'm stepping into my creatorshipness by creating the word. Why don't you do that? Step into your own power as the divine creator that you are and that you always will be, and say, I'm going to create my own reality. This is not my reality because I don't want it. What do I want? So then you start, instead of looking to this, and you see I drew this circle, and you see this here, these are the threads of the matrix. You cut them off. You cut them off. And you start saying, okay, I believe in freedom, in peace, in health, in prosperity. I believe that there is a different world. I believe that there is a different, right? So look, you're intersecting, you see, this is automatic what I drew. You're intersecting with the 5D new earth that we always talk about, which is there. And why is it there? Because a part of the collective decided that it's there. A part of the collective decided, I don't want this crappy 3D matrix. I want 5D, new earth, and this is what I'm going to, and this is what it's like. Because a larger and larger percentage, like more and more people, right? More and more people are going to be here saying, crap to this is what we want. And they're going to start migrating their mind, their ideas, their thoughts, their visions, their beliefs towards this. Here, there is no virus. Here, there is no V's. Here, there is no millionaires and billionaires proclaiming themselves to be the lords of the world, playing with populations, playing. Nah, there's none of that. None of that. There's none of this. None of this. The Dracs, the negative soul groups, all that stuff. The demons, no. No. And why not? Because it's a higher vibration. It's a higher density. It's more positive. And here, these things can't really exist. Maybe at the lower levels, maybe if some people who decided to be here suddenly start falling and suddenly start, having these negative constructs again. And that's what happened in Lemuria. In Lemuria, we went into 5D New Earth and then we fell again. Because in 5D, it is still possible to have negative thoughts. In 5D, we amplify and we create very fast. And so if we choose to create a lot of negative thoughts, then what do you think will happen? Then tiny little demons will start showing up. Tiny little Dracs will start showing up again. And when you let these in more and more and more, what do you think happens? We fall right back down into 3D. And 5D is done, right? So, eclipse season, a portal for amplifying everything in your life. A portal for positive light codes that you can catch. Boom, the moon, boom, catch the light codes of the moon, of the stars, of the energies, of the eclipse energies. Use these to springboard yourself into 5D New Earth and create your own reality within the 3D matrix collective reality. Don't be part of the negative collective consciousness. Create your own consciousness, and this works. This works. Don't focus anymore on this. So I'm going to tell you one actual physical direct trick, one thing that you can do to start to extract yourself out of this reality, all right? And this is, you might be surprised. This is something that I did physically, and I will tell you what I did. You have to start not seeing it anymore. You know it's there? Let's say it's here, right? You're seeing this. You know what you do? You do this. You go like this. You know it's behind you, but you're not looking at it. All the crap is behind you there. It might still be around you, but you're going to be like, I'm looking up. This is what I want. You start ignoring it. You start not paying attention. You start looking towards 5D New Earth. You start saying, okay, I want freedom. Where's that person I can talk to about that? Where's this beautiful place? Where's this restaurant where I will go in and I will not even notice what's going on? Where is the peaceful place where I'm at peace, where everything is beautiful, where this doesn't exist? You see, it's here. It's all the mind. It's all the mind. Consciousness is everything. That's what you have to do. And you're saying, but how can I ignore it if I'm in the middle of it? I'm going to tell you. I was once in a relationship about 10 years ago with a half Hadaran, half Draconian, right? Unstable blueprint, changeling, whatever you want to call them. Horrifying. This was such a negative person, and he was dragging me down and destroying my life. And after a short while, I wanted to get away. I was like, okay, you got to leave. And you know what? That person wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. He would not leave me alone. I was like, get out of here, go. I would drive him away. Then suddenly I would wake up. He'd be sleeping in the basement, sleeping in the garden. He would creep himself. He would not leave. I asked people to help me. No one would help me. So I was like, what do I do? Should I just suddenly leave here? What am I going to do? So what I did was this. And this is something I got as a download from my guides. My guides said, pretend he's invisible. Don't see him anymore. He's in front of you, but you're like, he does not exist. And this was like, this was something I had to do. I was like, I didn't know what to do anymore. I just didn't know. So I started to pretend he wasn't there. I'm like, he was there talking to me. I was like, But it's like, you're not there. You don't exist. Turn around. Do something else. And I forced myself to think of other things all day long and pretend he didn't exist. Even when he was right in front of me, physically, I was like, you're not there. I was like, la 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 la, la 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 la, you know, focusing on other things. Airplane. And you know what started to happen? He started to fade out of my life. He started to like be less and less present. Don't know how it happened. Somehow he faded out of my life. Then he wasn't there so much anymore. This is the only thing that worked in this extreme circumstance of this half draconian negative soul who was trying to ruin my life, who was there every day in my face. So he started to fade. He started to fade. And then the second thing I actually did, pretending he wasn't there, and then I was looking for what I wanted. I was looking, what do I do now? I want freedom. I want happiness. I want a beautiful life. I'm going to be free. And I didn't say, I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with him. I need him to leave. That didn't work. I was like, he's not there. Are you there? No, I don't see you. Like you can be like little children. When they're hiding, they go like this, right? So go like this. Oh, I don't see you. You're not there. I just see my hand. You're not there. If you have to start like that, start like that. And then when you don't see that person, when that person or that thing or that situation starts to fade a little bit, you turn around. You start looking for what it is you want, asking, show me my next step, open doors for me to actually move forward out of that situation. And slowly and surely, opportunities opened. And within a couple of months, I was out of there and I never saw him again. And this is only because of this tactic. I tried everything else. So with this reality that is in front of you, let's say you're in a country where there's lockdowns, where there's the V's, where everything is happening. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying identify what it is you don't want. What don't you want out of this 3D reality? What is it that you don't want? What doesn't resonate? What is it that you hate? And you start saying, disappear. Disappear. Even if it's in front of you, disappear. With illness. I got a tumor here. Disappear. You're not there. I don't see you. I'm healthy. Right? Number one, you're there. I see you. I don't want you. Number two, you're not there. You're not in my existence. Why are you showing me that you're here? This is rubbish. You're rubbish. Nah. Then you turn around and you see your healthy body. You see your shiningly healthy, brilliantly vibrating body. Let's say the tumor was on your stomach. You see your stomach as a beautiful whole thing with all the cells digesting, shining brilliantly. You send light. You see it as the most healthy stomach in the world. You see that every day. That's all you see. And that tumor will drop off, fall away, die, and disappear. I swear, my friends. I swear. That's how it works. You have to believe it. And obviously, it's not so easy to do. How fast you get to create your own reality, how fast you actually start experiencing 5D New Earth, how fast actually you won't be under lockdown, you won't be affected, you won't get sick, you won't have to take the V. All of these things depend on your own empowerment, your own light quotient, your own strong belief system, your own trauma. You have to do a bit of shadow work. You just have to keep going. You have to keep going and looking towards 5D. Empower yourself every day. Do mantras, right? I know this is not easy. It's not easy, but on the other hand, it is. It is. And I've done it in my own life. And have I been affected physically so greatly by all of this? No. Because in the past few years, I have done my work to get to a place in point and time and space where I'm not so affected. I'm not affected. I don't see any viruses floating around. I don't hear of anyone who's sick. I hear of people taking this, but have I ever come across where I have to do it? No. And I'm standing strong. But I'm also affected of everyone saying, oh, you're going to have the V, there's going to be the green pass, there's going to be, for me personally, I'm just talking, right? If you're already in that situation, everyone is in a different situation, different vibration, and no matter where you are, you can start to move towards 5D New Earth and have that go away. Do you understand what I mean? For me, life is beautiful. And I have been focusing the whole time on what it is that I want. I want freedom. I want beautiful people in my life. I want to be able to swim every day. I want to be able to walk where I want. I want to be able to go into restaurants. And this is all happening. This is all happening. And I was not greatly compromised. Partially, yes. But it didn't really affect me because I chose not to have it affect me. If something pops up that's negative right in front of me, I'm like, oh, wow, 3D matrix. What are these people up to? Wow, the matrix is deep. Collective consciousness, wow. Thank you for showing me where it's at, but nah, no thank you. I'm sorry, nah. You don't exist for me because I have my own world and I'm moving into 5D and I am actually living here and not here. Right? And right now this is amplified. So if you are disempowered, this will amplify for you. If you're focused on the 3D matrix and everything around you that is happening in front of you that's negative, and you go further and deeper into it, you're traumatized more. You're like, but what can I do, Natasha? I am here. I am sick. I understand. But do not focus on it with your heart and soul every day, every moment of your day. Don't. See it as what it is. Identify it as what it is that you don't want, and then say, I will shrink you out of existence with a divine light from the light codes, from the heavens, from the eclipse energies. Take these light codes to shrink what you don't want. Shrink it. Then turn around. Look at what you want. What it is that you want. What is it? You have to know what you want. You have to know. And it's easy. For me, I'm keeping open what I want. So the universe has a chance to deliver it to me in different ways. You can't be too set on, I want to be with that person in that country doing this. No. It's like, I want freedom, I want peace, I want love, I want unity, I want happiness, I want beautiful connections, right? It's not that hard. So focus on what it is that you want and start to create a vision for yourself. Start to conjure up in your mind, looking towards that fantasy of what it is that you want, and the fantasy will become a reality. And I swear this is how it works, and now is the time to do this, because if you let yourself be pulled into the matrix with these threads, it's going to be a downward spiral, and the reality that is here will amplify for you. But if you are disciplined, and if you know this is what I want, and you are very disciplined and not looking at the news, not letting yourself be pulled into the drama of your friends and your family and everyone who's suffering and I can't, and no, don't. Create your own thoughts, create your own reality, create your own visions, and then you will find yourself here. And I know a lot of you already are there. You are there. I am there. You are there. And it's a challenge. I know. This is a huge challenge. I mean, this is not how it's meant to be, but we came here. We incarnated here. We chose to incarnate here on Earth right now. Maybe because they need us. Maybe because if we start to disappear the negativity, imagine if like 10% of the Earth starts to disappear the negativity and starts to move into 5D. Then 20%, then 30%, then 40%. That means that a huge percentage of the negativity is actually dissipating and disappearing. And that is helping the rest of the world, because they will be seeing more and more places that are void of the negativity. They'll be seeing, oh wow, look at that place, look at that person. They're always so happy. Why? They're living a good life. Oh, look at that city. Wow, when I walk through the city, there's nothing negative. I'm feeling good. Oh wow, I'm traveling to this country. In this country, wow, why is it so beautiful here? There's nothing bad here. There's no V, there's no C, there's no C as in Corona, as in Cabal, right? There's no Drax, there's no negative. Why? Wow, there's nothing here. It's because maybe that city has been taken over by 5D New Earth consciousness, and that stuff just dissolves. So, create your own little personal world of 5D where all negativity dissolves. And you will, and you may see a lot of the other stuff, but it will happen. And I've been practicing this for a long time in the past with that story, but I've been practicing this in this whole last year. And the only problems that I have is when I look to the outside of my life, what's happening to other people, what's happening to my friends, even what's happening to people very close to me, my family members, near and far. That's the only problems that there are. Other people, not my life. Not my life. Only if I let myself be affected, and only out of empathy. We're empathic. So make sure that your great empathy for humanity doesn't drag you down into the matrix. Make sure that your great empathy doesn't have you take on these and have them come to you because you're like, oh, right? But the greatest empathy, the greatest action taken by empathy, by empathetic people, the greatest action you can do is have them dissolve and disappear, move into 5D, because then you are pulling the world into 5D, right? You're pulling the world into 5D. Yes, thank you. Raven friend. He's saying yes. The greatest service you can do is not cry with the others, but show them that there is light, that you're empowered, that you are strong, that for you this doesn't exist. And so maybe they will be inspired. And then maybe one negative thing that was in both your lives, maybe they will be able to have it disappear too. So, be a peaceful warrior. This is another really cool concept. Be a peaceful warrior. I mean, it's up to you, right? You can be in the streets fighting against negativity. That's also okay. But the next level is being a peaceful warrior. Having them disappear by annihilating their existence, denying the existence of them, and creating something beautiful instead. So that, for me, is a definition of a peaceful warrior. The monks are peaceful warriors, right? And the metaphor of taking the sword and slaying the dragon is not always physically going and slaying the dragon, because you don't need to kill anything. It's just saying, you know what? You don't exist. You don't exist. Instead, I'm gonna create a beautiful angel. And you know what will happen? That dragon and the power of the dragon, if it's a bad dragon, for example, will shrink, and suddenly the dragon will be a tiny little ant hopping around. That's it. So be a peaceful warrior. Be a peaceful warrior. Look towards 5D New Earth. Use the beautiful light codes right now in the next 3 months to amplify your jump away from the negative 3D matrix into 5D. And by doing that, you are helping the world. And by doing that, you will be a true light worker. And that's what I needed to tell you. That's the message that came through. And if you remember this, you will start to master every single aspect of your life. Every aspect. Everything that is negative and bad in your life, inside, outside, it will dissolve and fade, and you will pull in the new. All right? So, that's why I always say, don't go doing clearings forever. Don't do your shadow work forever, because by doing that, you are recognizing, oh, this exists, oh, this is big, oh, this is, you work with it forever and ever, and no. You have to recognize it, obviously, work with it. Do your shadow work, but do it fast, away, and then turn your back to it, say, that's enough, okay, that's it. Enough with all that crazy, stupid stuff, that negative stuff. I'm now moving up, towards the light, towards the good things. All right? Okay, so that's it, my friends. Implement this. Try this. And I'll tell you, this is a challenge. Try this for the next 3 months and see where you're at in August. See where you personally in your life are at in August. And remember, opening the doors of opportunity. Once you've turned your back on the crap, you say, okay, now open doors for me. Where can I go to really bring this beautiful stuff into my life physically so I can see it in front of me? How can I do it? Take inspired action. You cannot take inspired action if you're only focused on the negative stuff. It'll be uninspired action that'll pull you down, right? All right. So, love you all. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried this. And maybe in a few months, come back and make a comment and tell me if this has worked for you. Thank you so much. Love you all. Natasha, Cosmic Empress.